The roster for WWE 2K18 gets bigger and bigger each year, but there's certain characters that will no longer appear, whether they've left the company or for other reasons. Here are 5 that are gonna get removed from 2K18. The first of which being Alberto Del Rio. He left the company many moons ago. He's definitely not going to appear in 2K18 unless he signs some sort of agreement, but since he now appears in Impact Wrestling and he's appeared on certain other federations like What Culture Pro Wrestling, the odds of him being in the game are slim to none. It's quite funny because he was been removed on and off over the last few years. 1 year he's been in, 1 year he's been out. So there's every possibility he'll be back in for 2K19 because CCC, his moves are still good. The Enzigiri's cross arm breaker is always going to be in the game. They're iconic animations, and we'll see him, I'm no doubt, very quickly in community creations. Next up, we have the recently released Simon Gotch, or the Vord for Villains. Now, he has left the company on mutual agreement. Even though Aiden English is back to his old gimmick, Simon Gotch has now left. There's no real need to have the Vord villains in 2K18, unfortunately. We are before the cut-off point of normally when the roster is finalised. So even if his model had been made, the likelihood of him still being in the game by the end is very doubtful, I'm afraid. Shame, really. Next up, oh, Cody Stardust, Mr. Stardust, the gimmick that everyone hated, even Cody. With him being in Japan and Impact Wrestling and everywhere around the world, the likelihood of Stardust being in the game is very unlikely. Although WWE does own the rights to Stardust, so providing an agreement is made, as long as the Cody Rhodes banner isn't used, there's a chance, but again, is very unlikely. However, all the parts, all his movesets will certainly be in the game, so need not worry, you can get your American Nightmare fix very quickly, for life. Also, we have got the recently retired Tyson Kid. Great tag team with him and Cesaro, sort of mini revolutionized the tag team scene back then when he was still wrestling. Fortunately, the Muscle Buster was too much for him in a freak accident, which has caused him to be retired indefinitely, which is a shame, really, because he was making leaps and bounds. He was treated as a joke for many years. Remember getting attitude adjustment by Hornswoggle, for instance, but through NXT and stuff, he was pushing boundaries again and would have been awesome to still see in the game. But he might have signed the Legends deal to appear, but Cesaro's with Sheamus now, it just seems kind of pointless to see him in 2K18, I'm afraid. Lastly, for today, we have got Tatsumi Fujinami. Now, he was DLC in 2K16, he was added into the main game for 2K17, but because he's the Hall of Famer and was designed for the Hall of Fame DLC back in 2K16, he's sort of not relevant now to have in 2K18. And there's a lot of other DLC which potentially from 2K16 you won't see again in 2K18. Who knows, there might have been a multi-year deal. It just seems oddly placed to have him in the game, and he's the most likely of the DLC to be removed from the roster, unfortunately. The roster is still going to be very high, but is there anyone else you can think of that possibly could be removed this year? Leave it in the comment section below, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more WWE 2K18 goodness. I am Will Tennant, aka It's My Yard, and I will bid you adieu, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Bye now.